Hello. Hello there. We have apparently dropped 69 frames. That's nice. Hi Ragdoll, how you doing? Ah, the good old big tomato, yes. Hello Chibi. Hello, hello, hello. How do? We well? Today's going to be a low energy stream. For many reasons. Primarily lack of energy. Hello Christy. Also because we're on a plot space. So I don't know how much more we're going to advance this story. We're probably just going to talk about what's happening in this plot bit. Because it could be quite a lot. It could be not a lot at all. I don't know where we are. That's probably the main thing we have to answer today. Didn't know lack of energy could lead to low energy. Yes. Yeah, it turns out that is a thing. It explains so much. It's these sort of logical equivalences that, going to university to study maths for 8 years. It's that kind of analytical detail that you can expect from someone like me. Yeah. So we're doing stuff. It's 16 symbols. How are we doing? How's the beginning of the week been for everybody? My chair is very squeaky. I apologise. Hopefully the setup's alright. I've had to move things around, so hopefully I'm not too loud, or quiet, or just sounding wrong. Hopefully the microphone's the correct one. Is it this one? Should be that one. We just came from a frozen desert. Maybe this is fantasy Moscow. Perhaps. Do you know what? My brain's not even really in the position at the moment to try and work out a fantasy Moscow pun. Moscovan. That's just kind of like a witch is a fantasy thing. I don't know. Also, I don't know a lot about Moscow, so we are limited. Okay, so brief recap of what happened last time. Oh, we apparently had a lot of layers last time. I forgot about this. No, wrong one. There we go. Yeah. So this is we in a ruined city in the desert, icy desert. We came across evil nurse, poison nurse, who I still don't think we've named or anything. And we had a fight with them, which was scripted to be a loss. And then being a poison nurse, she then... What's the word for this? I was going to say hallucinated us. No, she caused us to hallucinate and fall into sort of like hallucinatory coma-like situations where we had a vision of Grandma Bonk, who was like, "Oi, what do you think you're doing? You can't indulge in such things as, being ill. You got people to help." What was the phrase? There was a good phrase. Can't remember what it was. Historical Centre of Fantasy Moscow is called the Gremlin. There you go. See, there was a joke there. I'm glad you guys all have my back. Your friends are in more danger than you. Yeah, something like that, yeah. Brain ceases to work. Feel free to go back on the previous VOD and work out what it is. Anyway, we had that. And then we woke up. And we woke up in a desert. Well, 2 of our characters woke up in a desert. Well, maybe one of our characters woke up in a desert and the other one was just pretending to be asleep. We don't know. Jethro and Mo are just somewhere. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And in particular, that means that Gil and Brad have gone back to the train. And they are... And Loaf's also in there. And they're fine. Flo, nobody did go with the flow, so I don't know where Flo is. It's very difficult to get that to work as a joke. Jethro just lied down so they wouldn't be embarrassed by being unconscious. No. Flo is somewhere. Who knows where? I'm sure she'll crop up somewhere, somehow. Yeah, but Gil and Brad made it back to the train. There's a whole bunch of people on board the train who are freezing / dehydrating, and they need to get to shelter, and so the train cannot stay behind, particularly given that everybody's been poisoned and so on and so forth. And we're trying to track down where the medicine went, for the people who need it. So it makes sense to go and try and get that before we work out where Mo is, because, hey, we might find Mo, but not be able to cure her. So, did Poison Nurse take Flo? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they just really like frogs. It's a miss! Hello, will you make it for a whole stream this time? We'll see. Will I make it for a whole stream this time? I don't know. Very low energy today. How you doing? Yeah, so that happened. We got on the train and the party split. Party is split into two, with Jethro and Mo going one way, wherever that is, and Brad and Gil going the other. Which was on a train, fighting a worm. A boss came up and we needed a train mimic worm? I can't remember precisely how or where this came from, but it's a thing. Yeah, and so a quick little scuffle, trying to, oh, it did have eyes. It suddenly lost its eyes. Don't worry about it. Worm train, yes. Yeah, that chased us. We had a fight, and then we got to the city. Where is the city? I don't know, but it's the city that the goons stopped at. So we have finally caught up with them. We finally found where they are. They're here in a particularly wonky drawing. I think I was trying to do this very quickly. Look at Brad. Like, not sure that's the correct proportions there. The city, capital C, city. So in particular, we see the goons. They're wandering around doing something. Brad's trying to be stealthy, Gil isn't. But we see the Stokers there. So hooray, we've at least found Stoker. I don't know if this is the city where the medicine is going to. I don't know if this is the city where the company is based. I don't know. I feel like the beginning of this stream is mostly going to be talking. Partly because, Brain. Kagura is amazing with kids. He has very long arms, so we can keep them distant. Might just be a pit stop, might be. I mean, I don't know what this world's like, really. We've been to, like, 2 villages and a cave. So... and an old ruined city. I don't know how, you know, proliferated the concept of a large city is around this world. Fully support his parenting skills. Someone needs to. Otherwise disaster would happen. This could be the drop-off location, possibly. Yeah, so we need to... okay. How, what, who, where, when, and why. How... well, we know how. We got here by train. Who? We know who. It's the goons. Where? That's probably an interesting thing. There is a fantasy warehouse here, possibly. 2 villages in, near the forest, a cave near the forest, and a ruined city in the cold desert. Yeah. Also an ocean nearby and a river. Yeah, I was thinking maybe the where Mo goes, could be the shrine to the healing goddess or whatever. That's where she learns a little bit more about what's going on. It was fate that they were blown, dragged, however they got there. They got there however they got there. Dragged, yes. Drone? No, that would just be spelt drown, which is not really what's going on. Yeah. So anyway, yes. How, who, where, the city. Okay, I guess where doesn't matter too much. Why? Why are they here? Are they here to drop things off? If they're here to drop things off, why are they just wandering around? When's irrelevant, I guess. Well, maybe not. Maybe they have already dropped the stuff off. Drowned chibi. This is some sort of weird Dark Souls boss. Maybe they're going to company-owned office for paperwork reasons. The best plot point in a magical JRPG. We're here for paperwork. How many times has that happened in a JRPG? Plot point revolving around paperwork. Maybe the meds are already gone. Cool. Drop off, pick up. Picking up or dropping off. I'm not really in a position to be making decisions, so I'm going to leave a lot of this to you today. Trying trying to come up with ideas. Don't you? It would be a horrible Dark Souls boss. It'd be great. It'd be like the not drowned, is it, in Sultan Sanctuary? The what's the first boss of Sultan Sanctuary? Sodden, the Sodden Knight. It's a coastal city with a harbour, so medicine gets from the train and put in a boat. We're gonna go on boat adventures. Boat adventures. GB Dark Souls would be a stabby one. That's pretty much all Dark Souls, to be honest. You're just here for chaos. You only know fractions of the story by now. I mean, I can do a recap. I do need to update the website quite a lot. It's been because I was going to do an HTML version that was easier to update, and I thought I'll find time to do that. And turns out no. Someone needs to get him an umbrella for the Sodden Knight. He also has lightning powers, which I feel like is counterproductive. If you're Sodden. Sodden. Sorry, I didn't do vocal warm-ups either today. GB Dark Souls, you only get stabbed in the shins. Oh, so it's kind of like normal Dark Souls. Only the other way around, I guess. You're the big one. Usually you're stabbing things in the shins. Yeah, I think the last thing that was on the website was the village. Anyway, okay, very, very brief recap to know what's going on. Started off with characters. We went to Rossenburg, which was the hometown of Mo and Flo. There it is. We met Brad and Grandma Bonk, who may or may not, but probably is a deity in disguise or just human form. Who knows? We met Gil, who was sending a message to people in the thing, and we found out that somebody was ill in the city and they need medicine. But medicine's been packed onto a train, and so we tried to stop it from getting on the train. Stream number 2. We got on the train, and we met the people on the train who do not have control over the medicine, but nonetheless could help us. There's the train dads, Corny and Jim, and Stoker, who's the little Stoker, who was our guide through the train. Also, Sir Steamsworth, who we have yet to meet again. So we made our way through the train and learned a little bit more about our characters, which I don't have time to go over. Spoilers. Then we met the goons who are guarding the medicine, who are in charge of it being transported. They're not too happy about the fact that we wanted some. So we had a fight, and then the train got split into two, and our engine in our half of the train got sabotaged, and Stoker was on the other half. And so we don't have the medicine, nor do we have Stoker. So we went to the forest to try and find the bit of the engine that was taken off and thrown into the forest somewhere. We met some trolls, fought them, played bridge, met another stone troll, fought that. Then a portal opened up and said, "Hey, Mo, you're special and people are watching you. You should be careful." And Mo said, "What? I don't understand." And then it went. Having resolved all of that, we then found a village with a massive factory next to it. The people remaining in the village are not happy about the fact that everybody's gone to the factory to work. But the people in the factory are like, "What's the problem? They got jobs. They might not have been injured already." And then the factory disappeared, replaced by a horrible load of goop, which we fought. And Jethro the Scarecrow decided to come with us, and the rest of the people who were in the village, and presumably also Don and Avery, have joined the train just because the factory's gone. I haven't got anything. Question mark, question mark, question mark has gone elsewhere as well. They should probably crop up again at some point. We're still looking for the bit of the train, so we climbed some trees because we know there's some nests of some bird dragon things to find shiny things. We didn't find the shiny thing we were looking for, but we did find a toaster and a big bird, and then another big bird. Then we did find the train thing at some point. We handed it over to the train dads who can get everything fixed, but it's going to take a little while, and the train's now full of people from the village, so we have to go to a cave. When we were in the cave, we discovered a few things. In particular, there's some stories about the shrimp god and the hippo god having a fight, and Mo seems to know an awful lot about these things, even though she has at no point in the past ever actually expressed knowledge of this subject at all. And Brad likes to point this out and remark that, you know, just because you went to healing school doesn't mean you know about the healing gods, in the same way that just because I went to bakery school I don't know about yeast gods. Yeast gods is now a byline for Brad's taking the mick out of the fact that Mo seems to know more than she should. There were also some snakes. We fought a big snake. That happened. Meanwhile, the goons got in a telephone box and had a call with HQ about how things haven't gone exactly right. They've only got half the train. They still have the medicine, but they've also got an accidental child hostage. And the company says, "Yep, that's fine. I'll send support in some regard." And this is our introduction to the evil nurse. But now we're on our way. We have a working train, and we're trying to work out where these goons have gone. We were almost caught up. Along the way, we need to fill up with water, so we stop at a water stop for the train. We realise that there's a weird thing in the blocking up the water deposit. I don't know what it's called. So we got that, and that's interesting. Don't know what that does yet. It's a MacGuffin. It'll do something eventually. Oh no, there's a Kraken in there. Who would have thought? That was also blocking it up, probably. So we fight that. And then we're going along on the train, but there's a big blockage on the line. And everyone has to get off the train and help clear the blockage. But as we're doing so, this is right by a ruined city in the middle of the desert, we see a silhouette figure moving through the ruined city. And, they appear to be a nurse, maybe? Their hat's kind of pointy, but not entirely. So it turns out it's Poison Nurse, whoever that is. We don't know them in the story, but we do, because we're writing this. And they fight us in a very mysterious and evil way. And we lose because they're much more powerful than us, and they have poison. They cause us to suffer hallucinations, where we see Grandma Bonk, who is there saying, "Oh wait, you don't have time to be in danger. Your friends need help." And we wake up. Well, Mo and Jethro. This is the point at which I have to stop saying the word "we." Mo and Jethro, party number 1. Awaken somewhere in the middle of the desert with no identifiable signs of architecture or where to go or how to go. Meanwhile, Brad and Gil, ever so slightly dazed from the whole poison situation, get back on the train, which needs to move now because everybody's extremely cold and very hungry and thirsty. And so we make our way to the city. Unfortunately, there's a big worm attached to the train, so we fight that, and then we make our way to the city and we find the goons. And this is where we are now. That's the story so far. I was busy stealing limbs. What did I miss? Well, right. So we start off. We had some characters. Then we went to a little town called Rossenburg. Right. This is just a little town. It's the hometown of the main characters, Mo and Flo. And in Rossenburg, we meet up with some childhood friends, Brad and Grandma Bonk, who's our tutor. I'm not going to do it again. It's fine. It was a joke. Right. That's the 5-minute summary. I'm just gonna thank you for the ellipses. Yeah, I'm just gonna clip that and stick it up on the website. No, I'll write it up properly. I've just got to find time. So. We're in the city, wherever the city is, whatever the city houses. For some reason, the goons have stopped off here and taken Stoker with them. I'm presuming if, we arrived here on tracks, so the train, we probably found their half of the train. But, so I'm going to guess the medicine isn't on it. Or maybe the train has been diverted off into a station somewhere and we don't know where it is. Do it, work smarter, not harder. Smarter, not harder. I don't think I can do the smart one either. Wonder how long you're going to continue. Until the lag caught up. Until people in chat started saying no. Yeah. So... yeah. Also, I didn't draw Loaf for some reason. I ran out of time, evidently. Let's start with that. This is the second thing I've drawn today. It's not quite as catchy as this is the first thing I've drawn today. I think Loaf's getting smaller. Loaf may be getting smaller, don't worry about it. Yeah. The city house is the factory that produces the medicine, manufactures something with the medicine. Perhaps. How did it get where it was before? If it's just being taken back to the place, I don't know. Beginning to think medicine doesn't exist, and we're just chasing them for Stoker now. I think maybe we need medicine more than ever after the whole poisoning incident. You know, our characters might still be poisoned, so we're not really up for a fight right now. So we have to be sneaky. Stoker's fine. Grigori can look after him. Have we thought of the Now God factory being a place, a component of the drugs are being made? Maybe. It'd be nice to connect some of these things together. I personally think that the snakes in the cave and the big bird dragons are friends. That's what I'm connecting together. Loaf was always very small, true. Loaf's never going to be big. Gori can't even look after himself. See that? 2 people in chat already. They already. The Adventures of Grigori and Stoker. Yeah. So I don't know. So should we say? I don't know if it makes sense for the medicine to be produced here, because why are we taking it to the place it was originally made? Or why are the villains taking it to the place it was originally made? Bad guy headquarters in a city, possibly. I mean, it makes. I don't know how. I was about to say I don't know how likely it is we would go to a place. Do also one other thing to bear in mind: we only have 2 more symbols here, so not a lot. Presumably, not a lot's gonna happen. One of them might be death. I don't know. Maybe just an office rather than an HQ. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense to have. They have branches. Hop into your local branch. What does this company do? I don't know what this company does. They're just a company. Do they just buy up assets and sell them at an inflated price? Is that all they do? Unregulated capitalism? They cause trouble. That's what that is. Team Rocket. Got it. I like the office idea, a branch of the evil tree. I like the idea of an evil secretary. Just filing evil paperwork. I think this isn't where it's made, but there's a place here that's using it for something. Maybe it's related to the cults, possibly? Are they tripping balls on the medicine? Company made by Chris, it doesn't matter what they do. What? We're gonna get another PA dagger, possibly. Yeah, I like the idea the medicine has some sort of use. So it's not just like, oh, we're buying all this up for price gouging. Maybe that's what the goons thought it was for. Okay, so what's the where we have an idea for a basic setup. There's some sort of office here. Maybe they brought the medicine here to be used for some purpose. Sorry, but you just noticed Brand's foot and you're now laughing very hard. Look, I had to do this very quickly. So what's gonna happen? I mean, I guess we could have a look and see what the next symbol is, just so we know that where we're trying to end up. Shipping drugs here to spike them with something nefarious? Yeah, what would the point of that be? I don't know. Well, maybe that's to do with the cult. Don't know. Yeah, next symbol. Got to refuel the train. That's another option. True. Well, have a look. Have a quick look to see what the next one is. I bet it's a bloody boss again. No, it's not a boss. Okay. It's another bot. It's. Oh, we're meeting new people. That's nice. That makes sense. We're in a new city. We're going to meet some new people. Okay. That means I've got to draw people. I've got to design stuff. I don't know. Fill it up on Goose Feed. Okay, right. So we're here. We're going to meet new people. Good people or company people? Both? A whole host of people. We could have meet an entire city's worth of people. Should we meet Cat? Maybe? It took us far off city to end. There's a chimney sweep. Are they just a company that does pretty much everything? Like Wayland Yutani and so many companies that basically do anything through subsidiary? They can speak. The Bigu train stopped here for a pit stop for maintenance and they decided to go to company office for stuff. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this is like a big train hub. I guess we're assuming that trains are a big thing in this world now. And, you know, their train got pulled into a station somewhere. We don't know where it is. Ours pulled into a station because the people need somewhere to go. But we established there was one train. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Like, if there's one train, why are there so many train tracks? Train hub, aka a station. Well, I meant like there's a bunch of different stations. They're all connected. Look, low energy, low brain power minimum. If there was one train, why would there be more than a few tracks? See, yeah, I don't know. The problem we have is that we're trying to have everything make sense, and our source material doesn't bother with that at all. So. You like that many trains exist, but this one is special. Is it upset that its two halves are now in different places? This one's the first magical one. Maybe it was just the first one. Full stop. And all subsequent ones haven't been as good. Because it ain't magic. Hang on. You do question how the train was moving in two bits as it got two engines. Yeah, it's got a front and back. And I guess we had to use the back one. That makes the picture not make an awful lot of sense. Maybe they used the back one. I don't know. It was traveling in one direction. Maybe other trains are pulled by animals and this one's mechanical. I mean, originally trains were animal powered, so. Hence the term horsepower. So I haven't drawn anything. I just don't really know where we're going with this. I could just fix this drawing, I guess. I've been talking for about half an hour and nothing's happened. Yeah, I am just thinking now that the pictures I've drawn of this train from various angles, logistically, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does make sense if we decided to go off in the opposite direction to the way that the goons did. But I don't think that's what happened. Not required to draw in to try and plug the plot holes. I was about to say this is a draw through. It doesn't say draw through, so we're fine. There's a big train, half of it can house an entire village. That's only like 20 people. No, that's not including the other people who are on it already. Enough people to staff an entire factory. It just why it took so long to get going. They had to turn it around. Yeah, it wasn't that they were trying to fix it. They had to somehow turn the whole thing around. Why is today the day that we have to think about plot? My brain is just like a sponge. We can adjust small things along the way, right? Yeah, I just want to know. I guess at the moment, I just want to know where we're going at the moment. Like, presumably we're going to go to an office. We're like stalking these guys, trying to work out where they're going. They're going to go to an office, a branch of the company, whatever the company it does, unspecified evil. That's what they put on their tax form anyway. Oh yeah, I got to do my tax. But then what happens? We don't have an altercation. We have to meet new characters. So maybe the goons go into the office. We go into the office and we meet the people in the office when the goons aren't there, so they don't know that we're not we're not enemies. Draw an office should be easy. I do that far too much. I do that every week. An office that really sticks out about how fancy it is by comparison to the other buildings and the two big robo-guards outside. I don't know what any of the other buildings look like. This city is very little thought put into it. We are in city. Disguise ourselves as office workers. I was thinking something like that, like pretend to be. We've got to have a good like sort of sneaky spy sort of situation. A lot of the games tend to have something like that. We disguise ourselves as guards or something like that. Grab a clipboard and that's the right attitude, and you're there. You said the goons probably thought the medicine was brought up there. I know what that sentence means. So maybe they talk about that and Brad can overhear it and then go all anime protagonist. Brad and Gil go undercover. I think the undercover angle's probably the best. Industrial Revolution Britain, that's what it can look like. It says smoke, lots of smoke. Okay. So. Much smog. How are we gonna do this? Smog, yes, this is the receptionist is a dragon. Bird dragon or a normal dragon? It's a normal dragon. It's a dragon, humanoid dragon. Which is the body of a dragon and the head of a human. Well, makes sense. You've had a quaint village, factory town, industrial city. These things are going to get more modern, futuristic as we go. Because you're undercover, you've got to have sunglasses. I guess it should go the other way. Well, who were they disguised as? They're disguised as like sort of general workers for the company, or I don't know. I just gave him a hat. Isn't that how JRPGs work? Nice and quaint to sprawling industrial modern cities that blight the land. Yeah, sometimes the other way around. Where you start off in the big industrial city and then you go to quaint places and you're like, oh, right, that's what the world should be like. He's to be wearing a mop. You can't fit a mop on top of Brad's hair. Let's give him sort of like... carrying a box of stuff. That box may or may not include loaf. Who may or may not also be wearing sunglasses. I like the idea that like he's wearing like a coat or something, but underneath you can sort of clearly see. It's difficult from this angle, but you could clearly see the apron still being worn. Killisation 47 is a very funny image. Oh no, hands. Hands have been giving me trouble all day. By all day, I mean the 2 times I tried to draw hands. Don't like them, they're a pain. By which I mean I need to do more practice. Yeah, I found like a whole uniform or something. It's like some big stripy trousers and stuff, big boots. I always forget how big Gil is. This is in the background, so it's fine. The perspective works out. Your brain did not compute Dimitrescu as today. That's, yep. They could not find an outfit that fit Gil, so don't worry about it. They found a bit of string they could attach it with. Very uncomfortable looking at Gil without a sweater. I was thinking of like giving him some sort of like underwear or something, but then I sort of realized he didn't have it on before, so none of the front office staff say anything about it because they were not paid enough to deal with mushrooms in disguise. No, they're not worried by it because they see this sort of thing all the time. The big city's weird. Let Gil do, you let Gil do this? I mean, this is more like Brad was so, you know, paying so much attention to his disguise. He wasn't really paying much attention to Gil. And then, like, halfway through a conversation with the receptionist, he turns around and goes, "Oh, by the way, this is... never mind." You know, like the scene goes. They're wearing a hat. You don't see the issue. It's fine. Okay, we have a receptionist of some description. In this nice, quaint place. Company policy says you have to wear a hat and you have to wear a jacket. It says nowhere that it says nowhere it needs to fit and that you need to wear anything else. I can speak. It's fine. I've drawn a thing. This has been a successful stream. Everything else is merely admin. We could, because I forgot. Annie Gregori's wearing a hat. Look, they're external contractors. It's fine. Yeah, hired goons. We could do a sort of dragony sort of thing. They have a hat. This is the uniform of the company. It's a hat and a jacket. Want to try and convince Wick to wear a hat? They did try that once. The building they were in didn't last long. Receptionosaurus does look more like a dinosaur, doesn't it? Rest assured, they do have wings. What do you do with the wings when you're not using them? Is it tuck them up like a bird? Lots of spikes. Receptionosaurus looking at Gil. Geez, I know the company doesn't care about us big guys, but that's rough. Trying to apply for a plus size uniform? It'll take a few months. It is better than that. But it looks like they're talking to Loaf and no one else. Loaf is the one in front. Like, they may have to delegate some of the discussions, but if you're in front, you're in charge. We know this. Also, we might as well. Cheap, quick question. How big are Juboa friends? I want one of them here as well. Small, great. I guess much like one of these sort of RPG stories, you know, hey, look, we're in a world, and this world has some wonderful, magical, fantastical races, and wouldn't you know it, most of the people who are going to be in your party are humans. How strange is that? Whatever, hat, company policy. Conversations with this receptionist are snappy and to the point. They never drag on. By the by, I don't think I've shown these on stream yet, because today's the first stream. I just noticed Discord have changed the font for the rooms, for the servers, and the rooms, actually. Yeah, the G looks weird. Anyway, Chibi did some draws. Doobity-doo. Of Jabos fantasy race cute stuff. Traditional art. How dare you be so good? Instead of the air tubes for setting things around the office, they just have hamster tunnels and these wee chaps run through. Oh, that's nice. I mean, it's not. It's probably quite cramped, but there are many other drawers on the Discord, which I recommend having a look at. There we go, it's canon now. I like how the actual main characters are getting less and less detailed. I would say, oh, we've got a story to tell, but I don't even know what the story is. We're sneaking in for reasons. What are we going to find here? You were lucky with that one? Your concept sketches were very rough? Well, you clearly kept those ones to yourself, because none of the ones I saw were very rough. Projectors may want to be careful. I've heard this receptionist can be quite hot-headed. Ah! Barrios. Sorry, I thought that was a joke. It's not. I thought Chibi said it was probably also quite a fiery company, but that's not what they said. Gonna talk to Stoker. Yeah, how exactly are we gonna talk to Stoker? You know, I mean, the goons are negligent. They'll probably let him have their sight. But the last time that happened, he tried to run away. Luckily, Wick can run faster. Lucky is still Gregory can run faster than that to stop Wick from, you know. Sorry. Corey's the fastest of the goons. Well, maybe Lenore. Lenore's probably quite quick. Has to be that fast to evade his taxes. Jokes. Chased in around the office, Scooby-Doo style. Could do. I don't know how you draw that. The whole point of that is it's in and outdoors. It's motion, isn't it? You animate it. Go. Okay. There's door. There's other door. Is There's Brad. Brad goes, no, no, this door. Oh, no. Where am I going? I'm going over here. Oh, no, we'll go over here. Everyone popping in and having no clue what's happening. Don't worry, none of us do. Maybe it's like Brad does his best corporate workers impression and gets Stoker away, but when the goons are like, wait a minute, and get him back. Works for like maybe 10 seconds. Brad's really some weight in his adventure. He's fine. Oh, I'm fine. That almost worked, but I popped up here. Hello. Not watching me lose my sanity. Oh, that implies I ever had it. Somewhere along the line, Gil can find paperwork and hints about the company, using some weird magic source, Shrimp God, while Brad is off doing hero antics. Quick question, and I forgot to update the thing, that's my fault. We are supposedly meeting some characters here. I don't know if we're going to do that now, or if this whole Scooby-Doo thing is prior to that. But at some point we need to meet some characters who will at some point be important to the story. The receptionists are all great, but they're unlikely to be important. Maybe the Jabber gives Gil the intel. Maybe Loaf crawls into the tubes and chases the Jabber around, trying to get the intel. Maybe we need to meet some new people after we get kicked out of the office. Could do. Maybe we get put in prison. Who knows? We meet people there. A lot could happen in the story. But do we get Stoker before we get kicked out of the office? No. This is the first attempt. I was like, shh, get in the box. I can't remember what I drew down here. What's going on down here? I don't know. Don't ask questions. I'm trying to stifle my creativity. It's like, ah! My dad's here. Like, yes, shh, get in the box. Less on the eye, more on the face. Now you're all talking too fast, I can't keep up. We get him back for 10 seconds and then the goons take him back. Sounds about right. Maybe both Brad and the hired goons get kicked out of the office for being disruptive. That sounds about right. Gil's the only one that leaves by his own power. Only after doing some paperwork and delivering some letters. Gil was just talking about the post with the Jabara. He wasn't being disruptive at all. You kind of want to get Stoker back after this, if only so we can get the "you saved him, you're a hero" Brad internal screaming. So what you like about the goons, but they were never mean enough to take Stoker's lump of coal from him. Absolutely not. It's an important connection between human and familiar, be they the animal, the mineral, or vegetable. It's rarely mineral, but here we are. I like the idea of all of them getting kicked out. Ah, there's a Gusenberg. Hello. Oop. My chair's stuck. Hello. How you doing? I would attempt to explain what's going on, but boy, I'd be here a while. Difficult enough of trying to explain everything up to this point. Now all of a sudden we're doing a stakeout in a post office? It's difficult. It's you! Ah! How you doing? You doing alright? Don't worry about this, we just got a dog chasing a Juboa through a thing. Little tunnel. They have tails. Doing good, just on your work break. Ooh, lovely. They do, they have big old tails. Again, apologies for the not particularly accurate portrayal of these friends. It's nice for Loaf to do something. So I did. Brad has multiple failed attempts at trying to get Stoker with the goons getting him back. This keeps escalating in insanity until a lot of them just get kicked out for being disruptive. That makes sense. Will I draw these? Probably not. But I do like the idea. It's sort of like a back and forth. This is like a kind of comedic relief sort of scene situation. I don't know what Gil's doing at this particular point in time. They need the long tails for balance when they hop around. That makes sense. Gil is being the adult. The adult who is not wearing clothes. Don't worry about it. And actually getting useful information. So yeah, to cut a long story short, Brad and Gil have come in here to try and rescue Stoker from having been kidnapped. And they're undercover in a evil company office place. Undercover is a generous term. Gil is very much less undercover than he was prior to coming in here. There's significantly less covering going on. I don't know how mushroom feet work. It's fine, don't worry about it. Looks a little bit like a cape. Gil is doing what Gil has been wanting to do this entire time. And is delivering letters. Because finally he's actually gone somewhere. It's entirely coincidence that they found the goons coming here. Gil just wanted to come here and deliver a letter. He was like, yeah, I'm sure we'll find something there. Honestly. Let's just go there. I have no ulterior motive for this. Please let me go there. I like to think this is a personal worst time for Gil. Between delivering 2 letters. Sorry, I almost forgot the disguise. You do that with a 7-year-old, trick him into going places. Is our party of adventurers just a collective 7-year-old? That makes sense. It's difficult to make a drawing look complete when one of your characters is basically naked and a mushroom. You get the idea. Aren't most JRPG parties? Pretty much. Trick is to make them think it's a good idea and they want to do it. Trick is to make them think that they're making you do it. If you make them think that they're convincing you to do something, it's fine. You seem more bothered about Gil's lack of clothes than Gil is. Gil probably doesn't mind. It's probably a bit cold, but other than that. Do they feel cold? It might just be a protective thing. It might just be, hey, I want to keep my body protected. Because I guess mushrooms don't heal as quickly? Unless it's their fate and they'll just think of a worse plan. Yeah. It's fairly consistent in Final Fantasy VIII that anything that the party comes up with is a worse plan than anyone else had come up with prior or subsequently. Which is great as a story that's supposed to be about a protagonist coming to terms with their feelings and making their own decisions. That all of their decisions are terrible. Think it's just society viewing anything without clothes as naked? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Well, not anything, presumably. Flo doesn't have any. Loaf doesn't have any. Colin doesn't have any. Gil finds clothes such a small. Had to read that about 3 times to get it, but well done. If you could see Gil's 3-legged double butt crack made out of mushroom, might be a bit uncomf. Who says they have a butt crack? They don't have a mouth. Just feels awkward because he's been wearing clothes up to this point. Yeah, that was the thing. Is like, you know, I was gonna put some sort of underwear on him, but it was like he hasn't been wearing underwear this whole time. They're pets. It's like Donald Duck with his hat and coat. It's fine, but take those off. He's nude. There's less pets and more familiars. You know, they have agency within in and of themselves. People's familiars tend to have a little bit more going on than just a pet. Loaf looks cool. What is this chat? How legs work though without butts? I guess see you can make it ergonomically sort of designed as a sort of like a sphere thing, but it just sort of comes out like that. That's what I'm imagining, something like that, but 3 of them. Know what I mean? What is this chat? How legs work though without butts? If they had been naked from the start, it would have been fine. Yeah, that's a good summary. Yeah. I'm assuming we've scared off Gustenberg. If not, hello. Well done, you've survived this long. They're a mushroom, they don't need a butt. Exactly. I don't know how they eat or drink, or they probably just absorb nutrients through their skin. I don't know. Want to see the idiots getting rumbled by the other idiots? I don't know. This is the problem. I always try and think of a clever way of doing things. And a lot of the time, we just need a way of doing things. Or how he talks, does Gil sign? I don't know, maybe they do have a mouth. Or something that makes noise. Maybe there's, you know, just... We speak via vibrations of our vocal cords. Gil speaks via vibrations of those little fins in the on the underside of the cap. They just vibrate at different frequencies, and that's how they speak. Jordan running for an open office space. I was gonna draw like... I didn't plan this out in advance. It's fine. Look, today was never going to be a great drawing day. It's fine.
I believe in you, Chris.
Well, there's your first mistake. But at least we've got some nice energetic music to accompany us during this. I can't remember what Brad's ears look like. It was a slightly weird thing to say, but... Now I've got to remember what all the other characters look like. Let's get some references. Put all the great art energy into drawing him. That did go very well very quickly, so... Which is annoying.
I believe in believing in Chris.
Well, there's your second order mistake. I don't know who this is. It's a facsimile of Grigori. Oh, this looked good in my head.
Okay, I don't believe in you, but I fully support you trying your best to draw us funny things on this chill Tuesday.
Many things are happening.
Chris, consider shutting up and letting us believe in you.
It's going to be difficult to talk when everybody else is talking at once. Thank you, though. Also, Freyman's here. Hi, how you doing? Stop, please. It was not so great timing. At the very least, the messages were separate, so that's... and the one that had music over the top of it was also in chat, so I could read it. So it all worked out. It's fine, don't worry about it. Also, thank you very much. Both of you. All three, if you include Dick Dastardly. He's not Dick Dastardly, he's What's His Socks from Pete's Dragon. Every time you see Grigori, you're reminded that you should really draw Grigori. Grigori is a fun draw. They're a good design and a fun draw. So Chippy needs to draw more Grigori. Miss is drawing a lot of M. I need to draw a lot of Atlas, I guess. Now to time out of mod.google.com. Now for more references for characters that I can't remember the specific details of. I forgot about the quadnocular. Atlas, Grigori, and M is the team that would not work at all. I think you're right there. I don't think I've ever drawn Bran like properly. Like I've never drawn her and gone, yeah, that's what she looks like. I think I've always also drawn her standing behind something. She's floating as well, don't worry about that. So happy with forcing me to draw quadnoculars every time you draw Bran. So I always draw the quadnoculars and then I draw none of the piercings. So it's a trade-off, you know? Conveniently behind other things. Don't worry about it. Gabe and his fancy magnet brows. Like a Mr. Potato Head. We never did come up with the company logo, did we? It's just copyright. He's holding a box as well. What are we talking about? Maybe a group of idiots. You really don't think that I'd stand a chance. Everyone is a group of idiots. It's fine. Gabe is big enough to be a background. That goes an evil smirk. Okay then. Done. Gabe reminds you of the giant knight towards the end of Labyrinth? Don't know that. And inside the head is just a tiny eccentric goblin. No. Did we stick with Zebus as the company, or did we come up with something more serious? We haven't come up with anything. For 10 weeks. Is Gabe actually just Clippy in armor? Who gave Clippy armor? It looks like you're trying to give defensive capabilities to the most annoying thing on the planet. Would you like to reconsider? I mean, I say that I never really found Clippy all that annoying. It's a controversial opinion. It was just a thing that was there. I think people just have a lot less patience than me. You know, part of me wants to say, oh, I think I cut the end of your finger off, Grigori, don't worry about it. Part of me wants to say, oh, look, Wick is, you know, ahead of the game. Wick's out here, you know, paying attention where everyone else is distracted. But there's another part of me that wants to say that he was just chasing people anyway. This is what he's been doing all day. This time he happened to be right. That's fluffy stuff. You have zero feelings about Clippy. That's pretty much what I'm... Yeah. I used to muck about with Clippy during IT class, supposed to learn how spreadsheets work, and you'd all sit around seeing what you could get the paperclip to do. I remember doing that. Only now you mention it, but I do. He probably was chasing people, and then Grigori shouted, so he stopped chasing after people to chase after Brad specifically. I think he was chasing after Brad beforehand. And Grigori turned around to look at what he was chasing after. I was like, hang on. See, I tried to summon ancient god. Can I help you with that? Remember when they had to teach school kids how to use computers? Yeah. I remember not getting a very good grade at that. And now I use them all day. To be fair, the reason for that was that they were trying to, you know, talk to me about, like, printers and databases and stuff. And it's like, I want to learn a program. Teach me how to do programming. I also like the idea that we're trying to nick Stoker, and we keep trying lots of different ways, and they keep catching us. So like, oh no, but at no point do they actually work out that it's us. That it's Brad. And just go up to the manager and like, you really need to fire this person. And they pull off the sunglasses at the end, and they're like, oh, it's you. Still have to teach school kids how to use computers. Some places just stopped, and then they get to uni and know nothing. If there isn't an app, they don't know how to do it. That's fair. You know. There are some programs I remember, you know, trying to teach people how to use LaTeX in for the first year math students. And you would think it's just a sort of typesetting language, so you can write maths nicely. But you'd be surprised at the amount of things you need to know about programming or the way computers sort of work to actually understand how to use it, and some people just didn't know. It's like, oh dear. Printers suck, F Hewlett-Packard. Printers are a horrible pseudo-monopoly. Where it's like, everything's far too expensive. It's a racket. Yeah, they only find out it's Brad when they all get kicked out. Exactly. He takes off the disguise. It's like, oh, it's you! Should have guessed from the blue hair. You can see it now. They're jumping in an alleyway, far off the disguises, and Grigori a moment later. You there? Have you seen someone who looks like you, but in sunglasses and a uniform? We met these guys once. Why would they remember Brad? We did fight them for quite a while, and they stole a kid from us. So, it might be something worth remembering. You know. You can meet someone once because, you know, they served you coffee in a cafe, but then you can meet someone once because they stole your friend. You're more likely to remember one than the other. Or I guess in this case, you stole their friend? Out of the girl bonking them on the head and the giant mushroom and the baker, why would they remember the last one? Because Grigori found it funny that it was up against a bunch of kids and one of them was using a rolling pin as a weapon. Protag hair, that as well. Maybe Grigori is initially quite worried. Like, oh god, the hair. We might have some trouble here. Also, I'm putting nowhere near enough theatricality into the voice of Grigori when I... Oh, I forgot about Kiroji. I guess Kiroji's still on the train. Grigori knows Protag hair means trouble because his sister, Poison Nurse, has Protag hair as well. Ooh, didn't know that. Frame man, please. Please. Okay, so we all get thrown out. What's going on? We still need to meet some new people. All this Scooby-Dooing and we haven't met new people yet. He just decided the Poison Nurse has anime Protag hair. You're welcome. That's one of the great things about having a character who is entirely covered, is we still have yet to design what they look like underneath. Which is what we did with Gil today. You're welcome. Very man. Sorry, I was just looking through some old sketches and stuff, and there's these from Miss from the 0th stream, and there's a little dragon up in the corner. I'm like, I imagine they work here as well. I imagine they are also here. As a mark of being a descendant from the gods, obviously, Poison Nurse is a descendant from Grandy, Brad is a descendant from Yeast. Mo, nothing from Mo then. Descendant from Yeast. You're right, Chibi. You've written that 3 times in chat. Run this joke to the ground, and then back out the other side. Good sketches. Imagine being told you're a descendant from Yeast. I mean, you know, yeast is just a fungus. Gil does all right. Brad has a bread-shaped birthmark. So it's a sign. Oh no, that's like a dilemma, isn't it? Because then does that mean, it's his anime protagonist's fate to become a baker? So would then following his dreams of being a baker be following the anime protagonist thing, or it's a dilemma. It's toast. I mean, I guess it just depends what color it is. Brad is a complicated character, which is not what I expected to be saying after the first stream of this. Oh, we can have like the blacksmith son, but it's not actually a blacksmith, it's a baker. It's what's the word? Like a premonition? Not the one? Predetermined? Prophecy? Anyway, yeah, what are we doing? Like, we've had the Scooby-Doo chase. Are we getting Stoker or not? Like, Stoker's not joining the party. Or maybe they are. But first we need to meet people. So, who are we going to meet? We probably don't have time to draw them today, but we can think about it. How does this whole situation resolve with the goons? Do they take Stoker back, or do we sort of amicably? I don't know. Because I imagine they don't really have much against us, all things considered. We just sort of wanted the medicine, to be honest. You know, maybe they're quite pleased with the idea of somebody taking Stoker off their hands, because they're like, we didn't really plan this bit. We mainly did this to keep the medicine. If we do get Stoker back, we lose the goons. Maybe a new person stops goons from taking Stoker back, and they're like, whatever, it's not worth the trouble. Possibly, yeah. We could have a friend who we find in the city who's like, oh wait, are you trying to abduct a kid? And it's like, no, we're trying to re-abduct. Yeah, there could be like a sort of running through an alleyway. Yeah, that's a good perspective. We're just about out of the alleyway, and then all of a sudden something comes up and goes, "Oi, you, what are you doing?" Some sort of big... This is my only stipulation for this character, is that they big. There's an easier way to do this. Has the music stopped? No, it's just quiet. They were trying to rescue the kid from these guys, and maybe the big person looks around and is like, "Oh, it's that lot." Yeah, that makes sense. They probably didn't mean to, but I can imagine they accidentally steal a kid. Ah, still. Still. Also, this is a bad silhouette. Don't worry about it. So this character may not end up joining our party, but they will be a character that will recur or be important to the plot. There'll be somebody significant. Maybe several characters, I don't know. Maybe there's another one somewhere. What's the last sign? Maybe that can give some context. That's probably a good idea. Last sign is not a boss, not a thing. It's... Oh, okay, character development. Okay. So maybe this character is in some way connected to Brad or Stoker or Gil. Oops. What are you doing? Did that whole selection thing for good reason. We find our first follower of the East God. The new guy knows Grigori by name, that's for sure. I imagine the goons have a bit of a reputation in this city. Very man. Brad's granddad? Should be Brad's granddad? Maybe. Character development include the goons, or is it character development for only our party members? Good question. Very man, stop it. Stop it! Stop it! I guess it could be for the goons? I can't think of an explicit moment where that's the case in the analysis I did, but I wouldn't be against that happening here. U-Vote connected to Brad. Maybe he's a hero on a journey to bring down the company that they think is just a mundane, horrible company. Oh yeah, maybe this is where we actually properly learn what they're doing. And maybe we think, oh, this is all a bit of a weird conspiracy, but then it turns out to be true. And maybe this is also where the goons learn this, and we're like, wait, what? We're working for this company? Yeah, I don't know. Also, don't mind this not particularly good ending doodle. It's fine, don't worry about it. The music has well and truly stopped now, so let's try to sort that out. Whoops. There we go. What do you mean, shrimp god? No, said something about this. Anyway, we have a character to design. That's fun. Everybody designed this character independently. We'll see if we can make an amalgamation of all of them. Yeah, cool. Do someone with a weird ass silhouette from the back, you're fine. It's fine. Absolute unit of a resistance fighter, maybe, or maybe they're a gremlin in a mech. That's a possibility. Anywho, that's well. Hang on, if I just do this up before I forget. Blah blah. Save. Then boom. There we go. Cool. That's ready for next time. Yay! We did one symbol today. We're on stream 10 of this story. We've almost finished 9 of the 25 columns. This might take a while. Maybe there's secret yeast in a mech. Ooh. You just open up the mech and there's just this sort of wobbly mass of yeast. Progress. It is progress. I knew I should have done 20, not 25. But here we are. To be fair, it was a plot symbol. Yes, that's fine. And it was also a day when I had very little energy and a headache. So, I wasn't really expecting anything. But we doodled some fun. We had a dragon receptionist and some dog chasing a jerboa through a tunnel. It's great. Yeah. So, on that note, tomorrow, we are playing Angam. What gam? That's a very good question. I don't know. We finished Over the Alps on Saturday, surprisingly quickly. We then played a little bit of Please Don't Touch Anything, which started off great, and then towards the end was like, I don't know what to do. I still don't know what to do. So we probably won't carry on that. Might do some sort of, I don't know, sort of pointy-clicky exploration game sort of thing. I've got a few of those. We'll see. See what we do. It's been a couple of hard symbol combos these last weeks. I mean, it's largely the things we haven't bothered thinking about suddenly coming back to bite us. Although obviously the split of the party was unexpected. But we're here now. Arguably, it should make things simpler. We've got less characters to worry about. We only ever really worry about 2 characters at once. And it's usually Brad and Mo, so... Jethro's just doing the silly things. And Gil's just asking people, can we please deliver these letters? Thanks for today's adventure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for pushing me along and stopping me from collapsing into absolute gibberish. It's just mostly gibberish. Also, just a little hi miss, because, hey, you made it to the end of the stream. Hooray! Hooray for internet. Frame Man tried his best to stop it, but we're here now. Thank you for the wonderful stream. Hopefully the headache buggers off. It's been slowly fading over the course of the stream. So, that's why I usually do these ones. For some reason, there's been a couple of these streams that I've done where I started off just really not wanting to do it or having a headache or something, and by the end of it I'm in a good mood. So that's why I sort of push through with these, even if the start's a bit rough. Fredman isn't as strong as Twitch Man, true. Twitchman has the support of Bezos. Frayman is a independent troublemaker. You know, freelance. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Hope you have a grand old time. Thanks for being here and suggesting silly things and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, let's get a nice song. What's a good ending song? I don't know what a good ending song is. I've still only written 2 pieces of music for this, but then again, I am recording an album, so don't really have time. Yeah, we can listen to the nice Rossenberg music. Why not? Frayman is like the goons, and Twitchman is like Poison Nurse. That's scary. That's a scary prospect. Yeah. Thanks for coming along. I hope you have a wonderful time. Tomorrow is Gams. Saturday is Gams. Sunday is probably more doodles with friends. I'm quite enjoying those, and I have no other ideas for creative streams, so why not? It's a good time. I have to find a new wiki. Yeah. Thank you again. Look after yourselves. And I'll see you around. Thank you. Goodbye.